Please welcome our next speaker, Ammar Khan, a senior consultant. Today, he will be presenting his session, Make It Simple, Advanced Warehousing Implementation D365. Please stick around after Ammar's session for a live Q&A.
So for today, I have something very simple for those who is just starting with advanced warehousing. I try to keep it simple and try my best that at the end of session, you could have enough knowledge to start with this topic. So my topic is how to start and make it simple advanced warehousing implementation in Dynamics 365. So let me tell you about myself. My name is Ammar Khan and I work as a senior consultant for Dynamics 365 supply chain. Currently, I'm working with DXC Technologies based in Melbourne, Australia. I have previously worked with some industry giants such as PwC, KPMG, and Visionet, a US-based company. Apart of this, I have explored different markets as well, such as I have worked in Pakistan, Germany, USA, Australia, and Malta. Apart of this, I have done an implementation into a different industries such as manufacturing, retail, and services. And you can say me I'm a pharmaceutical expert in the manufacturing industry. So I have done more than 4 to 5 implementation in pharmaceutical industries. I love to volunteer myself for the good causes. I'm working as a volunteer in ANZ D365 FinOps team and also volunteering Pakistan user group, which aim is to provide the latest knowledge of Dynamics 365 to all intended users. A part of this professional contribution, I also contribute socially, and I was actively involved in helping people of my country, Pakistan, when they hit back with earthquake for a few years back. So I'm also an ACCM member and have some different certification, which is related to Microsoft and my supply chain profession. So this was my introduction. And you can just feel free, you can just search Ammar Khan on LinkedIn and you can find me if you want to connect me. Okay, so we have some power pack agenda today. You can just see the Dynamics Con punch as well. So we are not hitting you, we are just giving you the knowledge. So we have a business story today. A part of a business story, in the business story, there would be issues and their resolutions as well. Then we have an understanding of a basic warehouse structure, how the basic warehouse structure works. And then we have a product setups, and we have a location, and then we have a shipment loads and waves. And then we will be moving to the other topic, which would be a work templates, location, directive, and wave templates. And we have then in the second last item, we will be having a mobile device menu items and menu that how these mobile items works. And then in the end, we have a demo, which I will be demonstrating how you can just do some warehouse process very easily through a mobile device. Okay, so we have a business story. Here I have created a small business story. So let's start with the story. There was a father and a son was recently graduated from the university, and father was running a business. From few days, father was quite unhappy as he is getting so much complaints from his customer. A part of a customer complaints, he just found that his 1,000 worth of inventory has been expired in the warehouse. He was having many other issues in his warehouse. So what he done, he asked his son to take over the business, and the son went to the warehouse to look what are the problems, and in the end he got the solution for all the problems with the help of advanced warehousing. Okay, so here in this story you will be seeing that how the advanced warehousing is helping this young boy who is just recently graduated from his university, and his father has given his business to him to run. Let's start with what are the problems they might be having in their current inventory system or in their warehouse. So son visited the warehouse and found the following problems. So the first problem is currently they have a very basic inventory system. A part of that, they have manual warehouse processes which create inconsistencies. Okay. Then they have no scanning capabilities. expired inventory was shipped to customer, which was the biggest problem when their customer received the inventory and when they open it and they found it was expired. So it was the biggest thing, which was just pinching them to just think over that what they want to do now. Then their inventory was expired and damaged at the location as well. Then the next problem was item packed in the wrong carton and wrong shipping labels. Then more time taken to pick the inventory for multiple orders. And there was one more issue. There was a wrong inventory counts as well. Then worker was blaming each other that, no, I did not do that, I did not do that. Then in the last, they were repetitive tasks which are consuming their time, their money, and all that. So what Sun think and just come up with his advanced warehouses course from Microsoft, which he studied in his university. After that, he tried to map every problem within a solution. Let's start how advanced warehouse resolved the problem one by one. Okay, so they were having a very basic inventory system. So they come with the advanced warehousing system, which he studied in his university, which was pure warehouse management system, which is advanced warehouse system. They were having a manual processes which create inconsistency. Advanced warehouses help them to have automated warehouses processes. No scanning capability was there in inventory system, normal inventory system. So when advanced warehouse management system comes, the scanning capability comes, which is an integrated out of the box mobile device with having a label printing and label routing with Zebra ZBL printer. Then their inventory was expired. So they were having a complex order waiving, packing, picking, and shipping, which can help to just maintain their expired inventory. They were having an inventory expired at in their location level. So what they did, they just create a few locations with a full control location having a stocking limit and location volumetrics. Advanced warehousing helps them to have a manual packing and automatic containerization support. Then they they use a advanced warehousing cluster picking function, which was really really helpful for them to pick the inventory for multiple orders. Then there was a wrong inventory count. So advanced warehouse helped them to have advanced counting capabilities to just be on the accurate side. There was workers blaming each other, so there was no sense. So what advanced warehouse helped them? The advanced warehouse helped them for a full traceability of workers' material handling. Then there was a repetitive task. So they just introduced a new function, which is cross-docking. So these were all the issues which were there in the warehouse of my story, and how the Sun catered those with through advanced warehouses. So these all issues were resolved in the end through this advanced warehouse functionalities. So basically, these functionalities are very limited functionality I have just mentioned here according to the issues, but advanced warehousing is offering us too much. So before going into the warehouse, and those who are just starting, it's quite important that they should have an understanding of a warehouse structure, because that's a core theme of understanding advanced warehousing. First of all, so if you could see on the left hand side, which is an inbound dock. So this inbound dock is the area where your supplier trucks or a receiving trucks would be coming, and then you will be receiving these goods to the receiving dock, which is a staging area where you will be labeling your goods. This would be the area where you will be labeling your goods, and then warehouse person, a warehouse worker would be coming, and he will be picking the goods from here, and he will be putting into a storage area. So these are our storage area. These are inbound docks. So you can see that we have a trucks here. We have a staging area from where we are just picking the goods and just putting into a staging area where we will be labeling the goods, and then we will be putting back to the storage area. Then you can find that we have this outbound dock. So what outbound dock is? Something when we want to ship the goods. So here we will be shipping the goods, and we will be transporting our goods into the trucks. So what happens whenever we got a sales order? So we usually, our warehouse worker go to that storage area, he pick the goods and he put into a packaging area. Here you can just see that we have a packaging area here as well, where we just do the packaging into the cartons and all that. So this step can be skipped as well, but mostly the big warehouses where the advanced warehousing is used, we have mostly the packaging areas. So here you just pack your goods, and then these are transported to this shipping area where you can just put the labels and all that stuff, and the labels can be put here as well. You're on the cartons, and then these goods are picked from here, and these are put into the truck, and then your truck can go to your customer. Okay, so this is the warehouse structure you need to understand before implementing or taking the requirement from your client, that how his warehouse structure is, how many inbound docks he has, how many staging areas he has, how many storage areas. In the storage areas, there might be a pick location, there might be a bulk location. And what about his packaging area? Do he has only one packaging area, or do he has only one shipping area? Okay, and then we have an outbound dock as well, where from where the goods will be going out. Okay, before going into advanced warehousing setups, okay, so there are many setups in advanced warehousing, but few setups which are really important to at least run a simple cycle, which is the first one is the reservation hierarchy. The reservation hierarchy setups allow you to reserve inventory at different levels without providing details about where to reserve and what dimensions to reserve on. This let you to postpone specific details such as the location or license plate to make the reservation on. The location to reserve item on can be determined later by the location directive at the time the order is released for picking. So the reservation hierarchy is the basically a hierarchy of a storage dimension used for reserving inventory and warehouse management. Let's keep it simple. Now we have a unit sequence group. The unit sequence group defines the sequence of your units that can be used in your warehouse operations. The unit sequence group should include unit of measures that range from the smallest to the largest unit and can be used for the product in warehouse operation. So just take an example of, so you might be having a unit of each, and after that you might be having a unit of a carton. So you put each into a carton and the cartons are put into a pallet. So we have a sequence of unit which is each, carton and pallet. And the third thing is storage and tracking dimension group. Everybody knows about that. Storage dimension is something which determines where and how a product to store, which is site or location. And the tracking dimension provides you with the ability to trace your product, such as badge and serial number. So these three setups are really important. Don't forget, there is a one more setup. Your warehouse should be set up with advanced warehousing checkbox. So that's really important. You don't have to forget it. So there might be, there might be companies where might be having both the warehouses. So you can just use the hybrid models as well, where you will be using for the few of the warehouses, you will be using inventory warehouses, inventory management, and few of them you will be using those advanced warehousing. But this for advanced warehousing, this checkbox is really important. Okay, let's talk about the locations in advanced warehousing. So we have to do multiple setups in advanced warehousing. So I can say that in your previous implementation, in the previous version, you have very much played with site warehouses and even few of the area of location as well. But when we come into advanced warehousing, we are going into deep dive of location, what the location formats are, what check digits are, what location stocking limits are, and profile and types of and fixed locations. So this is something very important which you need to know about. So first of all, what is location format? Location format is something where you will be defining location such as naming convention of your locations and set the extra field segment type, aisle, rack, level, shelf, or bin. Okay, so this is something a location format. Then we have a check digit. So our check digit helps the order filler and the right location. The check digits are especially useful in warehouse environment that use vocal ordering. An additional 2-digit number is assigned to each location number to have a checking on your location. Okay. So then we have location stocking limit. So what is a stocking limits on location? Basically, it's controlling the load capacity of warehouse locations without having to use the more advanced processes for volumetric calculations of physical products. Okay. Then we have location profiles. So what is the location profile? Location in the warehouse needs to have a location profile associated where we are putting some setups on it. For example, whether this location would allow a mix item, whether this location will be allowing a mixed batches, or will this location will be a license plate control or not. So these we are just defining on the location profile. Then we have a location types. So here you can see that we have bulk location, we have pick locations, we have inbound dock, we have outbound dock. So what is a bulk location? The bulk location is the area in the warehouse where receive items are stored until they are transported to a picking location. So I just told you in the warehouse structure, it might be a staging location as well. Bulk locations are used to replenish picking location as their stock decreases and to pick full pallets as well. Then we have a picking location. So the area, so what is the picking location? The area where items are stored until they are picked for shipment. They are kept here to guarantee that they can be easily picked. The picking location is used for picking small quantities of an item as well. An item can have only one picking location in each warehouse. Inbound docks. So in if you recall that structure of warehouse, so inbound dock was there, which was the location in the warehouse where goods are received. Then we have a outbound docks, outbound location, the location in the warehouse where goods are shipped from. Okay, so these were a few setups related to location. Okay, then we have a next screen, which is shipment loads and waves. So here you have to understand what is shipment loads and waves, and it's quite a, you know, when you will be implementing the advanced warehousing, these shipment loads and waves are really important. So what is a shipment? A shipment includes all an order, a part of an order, or a consolidation of multiple orders. So shipment can be a one order, a shipment can be a multiple orders, or it can be you know, a mix of orders. Okay, then we have a load. We can just say that load a group of shipment to put on a truck or an airplane. So for example, you have 5 to 6 shipment and you are putting into a truck, so we can just say that it's a load. Then we have a waves, so group of shipment to be processed in the warehouse. So when waves are used when we are just processing the shipment into our warehouse. Okay, so just to give you some visuals, so we have a sales order, we have a shipment, and then we have a load. So load can be transported through aeroplane, through ship, and then it can be moved to your customer destination. So this is more a shipment loads and waves concept, which you need to know before entering into advanced warehousing. Okay, then we have a setup of work templates. So this is one of the, you know, setup which you have to do in your advanced warehousing. Okay, so work templates are defined for all the work order types in the warehouse and will specify the expected flow, the worker flows to complete the work. Okay, so just taking an example of purchase order work template. Okay, so pick up the product from a truck. Okay, put it down in a staging location. So what if you could see here, so you have to provide some pick and put work. So the example which I was giving is the pick up the product from the truck and put it up down into a staging location. So here you are just providing or just mentioning that how what your work template would be like that. And if I take the example of a sales order, for example, work template, here I have taken a purchase order which I was discussing. So let us take the example of sales order. So what you will be doing, you pick up the product from the storage location, put down into a staging location, and then pick from the staging location and put down into a outbound dock. So here you can see there are only two, but in the sales it might be the possibility that it would be a four. Pick, put. Okay. Then moving to a location directive. What are location directives? So location directive, system should know that from where to pick it and where to put it. So system should have an configuration on the back, so that system should know about that. So location directive are users defined rules that help identify, pick and put location for inventory movement. For example, in a sale order transaction, a location directive determine where the items will be picked and where the picked items will be put. Okay, so you can use location directive to do the following: put away incoming items, pick and stage items for outbound transactions, pick and put raw material for productions, and then you can use it for replenished locations as well. So this was one of our setup as well. So here you can just see in this screen that in the first one you were defining your work, your warehouse, your site, and your pick one, and then you in the lines you are defining your all the quantities, that how much quantity it can maintain, and then in the end you will be defining location directive actions here, that what actions would be there. Later on, when I will be going into demo, I will be just showing you few other options as well, so that it will keep in your mind and you can just configure it easily. Then we have a wave template. So wave template dictates what happen in the wave, and a business may need many wave templates to meet all of the different situations that may be encountered. For example, a wave of order may need to be created because the order in that wave requires special attention or handling. Another wave of order may require expediting because the delivery dates requested require rush shipping methods such as overnight carriers. So wave templates are used to manage automatically or manually the shipping waves, production waves, or Kanban waves. When the wave is processed, work is created, and the operation team can perform their operations. Okay, so this is the last setup. So we were having location directives, work templates, and before that we were having a wave template. Now we have mobile device manual. So what you have to do, you have to build or you have to create some mobile device menu and menu items which you can use to do your warehouse transaction on your mobile devices. So you can just find here that I have just created some mobile device menu, for example, inbound, outbound. So in inbound, you can have all your tasks related to inbound. Okay, here you can see that PO receiving and put away, purchase receiving, and all that. So this is one of the setup which you have to create as well. Okay, then moving to our next slide, which is ways to execute your warehouse work. Okay, you created all your setups, but now you have found that how I have to execute my warehouse work. So there are three ways to execute your work. Number one, which is you can install Dynamic 365 for finance and operation warehousing application in the RF gun or mobile device. If you ever visit the warehouse, you could see that there are some RF devices which warehouse workers are using to scanning and all that stuff. So what you can do, you can just install the D365 for finance and operation into that RF devices, and that RF devices we can use it. Then Microsoft is really working and just giving innovations of new technologies day by day. So what they have done for D365, they have provided us a warehousing app which can be downloaded from Microsoft Store and which you can use. Okay, so but recently my clients are using this warehouse app very regularly, and they have found that it's quite a user friendly and it has a good interface as comparison to if we install into a RF device, because we have a limitations on that one. Okay, the third method, which is a warehouse, which is a you can use a web emulator. So what you can do, and in today's demo, I don't have any RF device, or I don't have the installation of Microsoft Store, this warehousing app. So what I will be doing, I will be just using these web emulator to just show you my demo, that how you can do some receiving and all that stuff. Okay, so let us talk about some inbound process flow, which I have created some sales order which we can use it, and then we can just do some inbound process how the receiving can be done in warehouse. So So how the inbound process flow works. First of all, we have a purchase order. After that purchase order, there are trucks which come to our warehouse and arrived at warehouse dock, and our vendor products are get registered into our warehouse. Okay, then we put some labels on that, and some warehouse worker comes and he picks the goods. So make sure you don't have to pick your warehouse worker, you have to pick the goods from or cartons from the inventory. Okay, and then what he's doing, he is transport to the inventory locations. And then we have a put away. So you can see this in this picture, that we have some streamlined aisles, rack, shelf, and properly marked locations as well. So this is an inbound process flow, which I will be showing you demo as well, creating a purchase order. Then I will be doing through a mobile devices, I will be registering that product, and then I will be moving this product to a put away location proposed by the system. Then we have an outbound process flow. So what is the outbound process flow? So you create a sales order. You can create a multiple sales order. There is no such need in that. Then release order to a warehouse. So if everything is good and all that, so you release order to the warehouse. And then again, you have to pick the inventory, not your warehouse worker. So somebody will go into the location and he will be picking the cartons and bringing it to the packaging area or a staging area. So it might be a possible that you need to skip the staging area. You can skip the staging area as well, and then you can just move the goods to your shipping dock, from where it will be loaded into a truck and then it will go to your happy customer. Okay, so let's have a demonstration.
So we have a this purchase order, which is 278. Okay, let us open this purchase order 278, and I can just show you what. So what I have done, I have a product which is item number 2. So I have some variant as well, having a black color and a size 1, and I have a warehouse site and site which is INT and the warehouse. Okay, before going into this one, this this is normal purchase order. Everybody know how to create the purchase order. I will be going into a few areas where I just want to show you that the setups which I was talking about. So you can just go, if you go into the warehouse management, okay, so here you can just find into the setups, there are different setups. So the first setup which I was talking about was of this work, which is work template. Okay, so here you have to define that the pick and put, and this would be the mandatory, and here you have to define for all the documents. Okay, so whatever you are doing, you are just defining. You can just create multiple work templates with some multiple queries, because it might be the possible that few products would be having a different pick or put. Some need packaging, some don't want need packaging. So this would be the configuration where you will be defining the work. Then you have those, if I go back and go into the locations directive, this was there with, I was referring to our engine basically. So here you have to define for the every warehouse, but don't worry, we have a copy option as well. So if you need to keep it, for example, if you have 10 warehouses, you have to create the 10, this location directive, or you can use this copy option to create, or you can just create manually. So here I am defining the warehouse site, and here I'm just putting that how much from quantity would be to quantity. And if I want to restrict any of the unit that this for this particular warehouse and for this particular location, it would be specifically restrict to that particular unit. Then we have a location directive here. So which I was just talking, that we can just put there that it would be a fixed and non-fixed locations both. It could be only a fixed location. It could be a fixed location with a product variant as well. Then we have this strategies. So this strategies, this is quite complicated as well. So over the years, you will be learning these one as well. That for example, consolidate means it will what will happen that your item A was in location 01. So whenever you will be receiving the item, it will be taking into the same location. So it means that it is consolidating your item into a same location. So these are the few basically strategies which you can use. Okay. Then we have this wave template, which I discussed with you guys and was showing you. So here we have a wave template. Okay, so here you can just set up some wave template. You can just set up the wave template for your shipping, your production order, your Kanban orders as well. So here you have an option which I was talking about, the replenishment and the containerization. If you want to add, you can add, or if you don't want to add, you can not add. So replenishment, if you could remember that when you will be releasing the sales order, so if there is no inventory in the bulk, so it can be the system will propose you the work to transfer the inventory from bulk to the picking location. And then there is a containerization. So containerization, if you could remember that problem, which was having a son of putting into a big cartons. So the system can propose the containerization according to what the configuration you have given. So these are the few setups. Then in the last, it was mobile device menu. So here you have to create the mobile device menu items where you have to, for example, if I give you the example of purchase receive. So here you are just defining that what actually you will be receiving. So at the time of receiving the purchase order, there are different options to receive the purchase order. You can just directly do the purchase order through load receiving as well. For example, load means that there might be a 3 purchase order which will be coming from same vendor, and he has sent it collectively. So you can just create a one load of 3 purchase orders, and then you can just receive that load. So here you will be just giving the configuration for each menu items. Okay, if you want to generate the license plate at the time of receiving, you can just give the here as well. And if you want to group the license plate, you can just group the license plate as well. Okay. Then there is a put away option. So here you have given the put away options, that what put away options are there, that how it would be a system directed or a user directive. Okay, so these are the few mobile menu items which you have to give. And then after creating the mobile menu items, you have to add into these menus. For example, when I would be if I would be the warehouse person and I will be opening this into my mobile device or my RF device, so it would be a main menu, inbound menu, outbound menu, inventory. So if I talk about the inbound menu, so you can see that the inbound menu, I have these receiving and put away, which I will be showing you now. Okay, so these are the setups which you have to do. Okay, let us go to the purchase order. Just copy the purchase order number and now do the receiving. So I have that warehouse execution emulator. So I have just installed that emulator or just configured that one. So I will be giving my password here. Okay, so here you can see I am just logged. So if you are a warehouse worker and you have just installed it into your device, your mobile device, your RF device, so the menu would be coming like this, which I was showing you. So let us go into the inbound. When I go into the inbound, there are different options which you have created, which I have created, but we can use all these options according to our processes. So first, purchase receive. So if I go into the purchase receive, if I give the PO number and just enter it, okay. So here you can just, if your vendor is sending the shipping note, you can scan those vendor PO numbers as well. After that, you can just, through the barcodes, you can scan the item as well. Here, I don't have any barcode scanner, so I'm just putting it and doing the entry. In the practical world, you can just scan the items as well. Then we have this quantity. Okay, I hope that how much the purchase order was. Just to check, it was 6 quantity. Let's receive 6. Okay, and click OK. So see, I'm just purchase receiving. So what I will do, once I will be doing the purchase receiving, it will be basically registering my item. Once I click OK, now my quantity is 6. Now you can see that my work has been generated. So it has been moved to a staging block and the goods has been registered. So let's go to the purchase order and see the work details. When I go into the work details, you can just find that the system has created the work, which is a pick. And so now the system, we have registered the good. The system is saying that pick it from the receive area, which is a staging area, and put into a pick 004. So the other warehouse worker would be coming, and what he will be doing, he will be going into cancel, and he will be going into different menu item. So for example, inbound, and previously we went to the purchase receive. Now he will be going to the put away. So it means that he's picking the goods from somewhere and putting it. So the system is saying that it is a user directed, where you pick it from receiving locations, or put into somewhere into that. Sorry, it's a pick from the receive, and now it will showing you put into a pick 04, which is our location. And it can be a fixed location as well, or system could propose a empty location as well. And this is the license plate, because on the menu item, we all said that generate the license plate. So the automatically license plate is getting generated, the 6 quantity, and click OK. So if I could go back to my warehouse work, so see this warehouse work is currently open. And once I refresh it, you can just find this warehouse work has been completed. So, and there are user IDs there. So if you could remember the Sun problem, that nobody was taking the claims that who has done what, and everyone is blaming each other. So this user ID can help him as well, that Sun, to know about that who worker has done what. Okay, so this was a basic purchasing cycle, which I tried to just tell you. Let us go to quickly, because we need to keep in mind that we have only 9 minutes. So we can go into sale order. So what I did, I have already created a sales order as well. Okay, which one is this one? 00887. Okay, if you could see that the sale order is of 3 quantity. Okay, if I scroll on the right hand side, you can see all the information. It's the same item it is picking from. So here you have to do one thing. What you need to do, you need to first reserve the inventory. Okay, so if I go into inventory and try to do the reservation, okay, so here I will be reserving this slot. So the 3 quantity has been reserved, and now I can just after releasing it, reserving it, I have to release it to a warehouse. So once I release to the warehouse, it will give you this message: work has been created under work build this. Okay, so if I could see there in the warehouse and go into the work details, you could find that the system is proposing you to pick it from 04 location and move it to a bay door. So bay door is another name of a shipping dock. So from where the goods will be dispatched to customer. So here you could find that it's more a simple process where I'm not taking it to a packaging area. Sometimes it might be here possible that if you want to take it to the packaging area, then there would be a 4 works. First, it would be pick 004 to the packaging area. Then other worker would coming from the somewhere else and will be picking from the packaging area and will be putting into a bay door. So it's all it's all basically depends on your client requirement, what exactly they want. Okay, so here again, so what I will be doing, I will be just copying this work ID, because what my warehouse worker will be going there and he will be scanning this, he will be putting this work ID. And after that, this time I will be going again into my menu item. And this time I will not be going into inbound, I will be going into outbound. So if you could see that outbound, and if I go into the sales picking, and I will be just putting that ID, click OK. Now it is asking for me the license plate. So what happened? My locations as a license plate track. It is add-on on the track. So it will be asking me for the license plate. If I go there and go back to my item and just pick that license plate from the inventory, that on-hand inventory screen. So I will quickly go to the on-hand inventory screen. Sorry for some delays. Okay. I will go to the manage inventory, on-hand inventory. Then you can just find that our location was pick 004. Let us just filter that one, pick 04. So we have that one. So we have many license plate. So let us take this one because we receive it. So this license plate I will be using. Okay, I will be putting the license plate. The quantity is 3, but actually inventory is there with the 6 quantity. Once I click OK, so it is saying me target license plate because my inventory was not full. Utilize it will not ask for you the target license plate if you have pick all the 6 quantity. So for example, just putting any license plate and click OK. So it is picking from that 04 and putting into a bay door. You can see that this is put function and it is putting into a bay door. Once I click OK and I go back to my sales order, and if you could remember that work for the warehouse and just try to open my warehouse work, now it should be closed because now I have put it into a bay door. See, now the work has been completed by Mr. Ammar Khan, and it has been picked from pick 04 and it has been put into a bay door. So this was a very basic business processes. But if you are starting with the advanced warehousing, just try to take a grip of it so that you can continue with some more complicated.
Okay, so that was my presentation and my demonstration. I hope you guys have liked it. So, do you have any question in your mind? Here I am to resolve all your questions. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for listening my session, and I would try to answer your all questions. So, starting with the first question, which was from the Jack. If just I could just okay, it was with the Jack about what are your thoughts on transitioning from non-advanced warehouse management or moving into the advanced warehouse management from a normal warehousing? Okay, yeah, that's really a good question, and most of the clients are, what I can say is that they always ask for these type of questions when we are doing new projects, or previously they were doing the something, or they were using the old warehouses or a normal warehouse system. So what we recommend them, advanced warehousing is little bit complex, but it's optimizing your processes. So first of all, we always look their physical warehouses, how their physical warehouses are there and how they are located, whether they have a physical structure of their warehouses in a correct manner. So because in implementing advanced warehousing, and physically the warehouses would, if physically the warehouse would not be like that, so the advanced warehousing would be the useless. But Microsoft, it has really worked on the transition of that, which because previously many of the clients were using a normal warehousing, and with the passage of time they want to move to the advanced warehousing. So there are few setups or few configuration which we have to do, or some processes, and we can easily transit from the normal warehouse to the advanced warehousing. Okay. Then we were having a question from Mustajab, which was that can we use mobile app for normal warehousing, or it is available for advanced warehousing only? Okay, so the warehouse app which is currently available is only available to use for the advanced warehousing. So whenever you are using the advanced warehousing, it will be working for your advanced warehousing setups. So it will not work for your normal warehousing. Okay, there are other ways you can develop other normal apps which are available, and you can just use that, custom those apps. But the app which is available into the store, it's only related to advanced warehousing. Okay, then there was a question, what is the actual function of cross-docking in advanced warehousing? This cross-docking function is really important in advanced warehousing, and it is minimizing our warehouse worker time. So for example, what happens that there was a sales order from your client, and with that sales order, you created a purchase order as well, or a purchase order is coming from your vendor. So what happens that when you receive the purchase order, it will not, it will, when you received it, it will be in the staging location. From staging location, some worker has to come and pick it up there, and he has to store into your warehouse. So what happens when the cross-docking functionality is on? So what somebody will do, if there was already a order, a demand of that particular product, once you receive the product, then there would be a work of cross-docking, that from the staging location, somebody will be picking it up and will be putting it to a shipping dock directly. So what you have done here, you have just minimized the process or step, which was that where a warehouse worker has to pick it from the receiving area and has to put into a warehouse storage location or a bulk location, and from there he will be picking it again. So this element has been basically eliminated. This element has been eliminated in cross-docking. Okay. Okay, can we receive the item through mobile app with vendor number as well? Yes. So what happens in D365 on the item master, what you can do, you can just create an item external description and you can put the item number for your vendor as well. And Microsoft give you the Microsoft Advanced Warehousing give you the possibility that when you are entering or scanning the item number, so what you can do, you can just scan the vendor item number and receive on the basis of that. But before that, it is important that you should be having a setup of product with the item external item description of your vendor. So sorry, I just there was a question related to a Business Central. I just I was not able to understand. That's fine, but you can just contact me after this one as well. I can just give that answer. Then can you set over receive parameter? Yes, you can just receive set up the over receive parameters as well. And for example, that over delivery and under delivery. So you created a purchase order for 100 quantity, and now you are receiving 103 through a mobile device. You can do that one as well. Okay. Yeah. See, Microsoft had just launched those mobile app. I could say that they have just extensively they are working on that app, and I could say that the interface is now really good of that app. Okay, so I don't know what actually you are having issues. A few of my mates, I have not updated. I was looking after some blogs, but have not upgraded my app. But a few of my colleagues are there who is doing that. So just let me know. I can link up with them, and I can help you on that one as well. And you have already raised a ticket to Microsoft, I think, and I hope they will respond to you. Yep, the stream is basically thank you, Jack. You have already mentioned that's my this presentation and the video recording will be available on the DynamicsCon YouTube channel. So you can go there and you can just review it. And if you still have any question when you will be seeing that video, just let me know, or you can just connect me through LinkedIn with an I can be available through name of Ammar Khan. Okay, today, do we have the option to use license plates? Yes, we have the options to use the license plates as well. What happened that when you want to do the configuration, what you will be configuring basically that whether particular location is a license plate tracked or not. If any of the location is not license plate, then you don't need to give the license plate. But if any of the location is license plate tracked, so whenever you will be doing any receiving or dispatching or picking transaction, you have to give the license plate. Yeah, okay, so that's a good question. Scanner hardware mobile devices, yes, there are few scanners available which are recommended by Microsoft as well. I can share it here as well. Basically, these are mostly the mobile devices or scanners which are commonly used in the big warehouses and have been used with different clients as well who use some RF devices. Which is having a really good scanning capabilities as comparison to mobile devices. So I can see that a few of the clients are using the mobile devices as well. But if I compare with the RF devices with mobile devices, I would recommend for the warehouse function there are few RF devices which is really good in scanning that function. Hey, so these were the questions which was there. There is no other question. So if you have any other question, do not hesitate to contact me on the LinkedIn. I will be really happy to answer those questions. Thank you very much for looking after my session, and have a nice day.